Hey guys, Professor Bell, Comic Book Universe. So we're going to be trying something a little bit different. I'm going to try and make this a weekly thing, maybe a little bit earlier than delivering this on a Wednesday. But I'm going to be talking about the comics that are going to be coming out for the week. So now, right now, it is November 11th, 11. It's November 29th of 2017. Now, I always put up all of my comics per week in an isolated playlist so you can see all of the comics that come out. If you go down in the description below, in the on my main channel on YouTube, and then you look below, you'll see just all of my playlists. You will see playlists for the week of, and then it'll give you that Wednesday's comics. You know, everything that came out on that Wednesday that I'll be reviewing throughout the course of the week. But here, let's try this now. So one of the comics that's coming, see DC Comics this week. This is the 5th week of the month. And 5th weeks of the month, when you have 5 weeks in a month, DC usually only puts out annuals. And that is the case here for the most part. You got an Aquaman annual, number 1, a Batman annual, number 2. And I will be checking those out. I will be reviewing those. I will not be doing the Green Arrow annual. I will not be doing the JLA annual. I will also be doing the Super Sons annual. I got to make sure I actually add that to my list, but there are actually a couple other comics coming out. One of them is going to be Dark Days, The Forge, and the Casting Director's Cut. So we've already seen both of these two comics come out. They're going to put them together into a director's cut. I don't know what else they're going to add to it, but you guys, by all means, can feel free in the comments below to let me know if you read it. Is it worth reading? Because I might consider going to pick it up, but if it's only going to be like 2 or 3 extra pages of stuff and it's not really going to answer anything, I hate the idea of buying comics twice. I really do. So there's that. But besides that, we got Batman, Creatures of the Night, issue number 1. That sounds pretty cool. There's going to be 4 issues in that. So they seem to, I don't know the direct solicit to it, not looking up any of that. But this is supposed to, they seem to be hinting in all of the preview pages that this is going to have a vampire situation involved. It doesn't look like it's actually Bruce Wayne himself. Name is just a little bit changed, all that good stuff. Also, Mystic You, issue number 1. Hello. I am a role player, and I am so down with the idea of playing like a Harry Potter-esque game where you basically play a wizard where you are learning the schools of magic, you know, as you go forward, as you play. A Dungeons and Dragons version of that would be fine. Anything. I am so down for something like that. In the meantime, I guess that's why like Avengers Academy and Gotham Academy have just like appealed to me so much. So now Mystic You, it's supposed to be along those lines. Could we have a couple of cool guest stars? We'll see. There's a Vertigo imprint. Also, Injustice 2 is going to be an annual that's coming out. Guys, also something that really interests me, Green Lantern. Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps, issue number 33. This is an actual issue that's coming out. I'm surprised. I'm surprised for a 5th week of a month. But we got Robert Venditti. The solicit is, an epic new battle begins. Twilight of the Guardians, Part 1. When the last 2 Guardians of the Universe are kidnapped by an unknown force, and they basically name all 4 of the standard Green Lanterns of Earth. Yeah, there's the other 2 new guys, but they've got their own comic. These guys are in here, so they're not going to separate them. Come on. So the 4 standard Green Lanterns, Stewart, Jordan, Gardner, and Rayner, have to go and try and find Ganthet and Sayid, or Sayid, the 2 Guardians. But on top of that, the beginning of this, the open couple of pages that they released, I think they released the first 6 pages plus 2 covers. That actually looks really good because they've got looks like Tomar Rees' kid just flying around having some fun. I'm loving that. Now, over in the Marvel sector, we got a couple comics coming out. We got the ones that I'm actually going to be looking at specifically are Darkhawk, issue number 51. Oh yeah, that's right, it's back. It's back. Darkhawk is back. The Return, part 1 of 1. So it's going to be a one-shot, much like Master of Kung Fu was, the Shang-Chi comic that came out a week ago, 2 weeks ago, something to that effect. Years ago, the solicit says, Chris Powell, Darkhawk, discovered a mysterious amulet that allowed him to transform into the spacefaring gladiator known as Darkhawk. Will there be a Spider-Man appearance in this also, like in the original series? Just curious. With his newfound edge against crime, A newfound edge against crime. Meanwhile, he's spacefaring. Dude, crime shouldn't stand a chance. He stood against some of the most extreme threats in the Marvel Universe has to offer. Now, with two members of the Fraternity of Raptors descent on New York, with designs of stealing the amulet and returning it to the stars, it's not Darkhawk who has to rise to the challenge. It's Chris Powell. That sounds cool. It's going to be a one-shot. The Raptors are a big deal right now in the Guardians of the Galaxy issues, which it's really good. Right now, that's really good. So if they're going to bring that over, if you're reading the Guardians of the Galaxy, you kind of have to get this comic, issue number 51 of Darkhawk. It's kind of a prerequisite because it looks like something is going to happen here that's going to really change the tide up there. We'll see. Also, a series I'm really into is Jean Grey, issue number 9. This is the Psych War, part 2. Trapped in the mind of the White Queen, the White Cream. That actually sounds like Emma Frost. Will Jean be able to escape? And will she be ready in time for the Phoenix? So guys, you know that Jean Grey, the adult version, is coming back. She's going to be leading X-Men Red and all that stuff. This comic, Jean Grey, is kind of crucial to understanding that. So I would... Yeah, personally, if you're planning on reading all of the X-Men series, or at least Red, I would recommend this one. The first issue number 8 was basically just her going inside of her mind for the beginning, and it was actually a really good issue. You get to see what happens inside the psyche of Emma Frost and her particular defenses. Even when she's losing, she still acts like she's winning, and it's really off-putting. Like, the only other character in the Marvel Universe who's that cocky, well, besides Doctor Doom, would probably have to be Selene, the External. I don't know anybody else who's that cocky even when she's losing. I mean, that's insane. You never, even when she's losing, you start thinking, am I about to be killed? What's going on? So, probably the comic that I'm most excited about this week, though, is going to be Moon Knight, issue number 189. Now, in 188, that was the official Marvel Legacy renumbering, where we get to see the new, the God of Sun, the father of Khonshu, is basically taking possession, or is he, of this new character. We don't really know anything about him, but we're going to learn. And so is Mark Spector, or whatever identity he's going as. The official solicit is Crazy Runs in the Family, Part 2. The path to the Sun King gets closer to Moon Knight. But Mark's got problems of his own. A man known as the Truth, nice, is driving people to suicide. Thank goodness, Mark's got his own personalities under control. Or does he have them under, or he does have them under control, right? Digging that. See, Mark has always been his own worst enemy. Who needs Bushmaster or anybody else out there, or even Midnighter screwing things up? When push comes to shove, this guy, he's always had his own psyche to deal with. Remember when Captain America and Wolverine and Spider-Man were some of his biggest enemies because they were in his head? So seeing him actually have a new enemy is cool, but I'm good with dragging it out just a little bit. Let it take, a couple of issues until we get there because, yeah, I actually want it to really feel organic. Old Man Logan, issue number 31. Now, the last issues that came out, the last arc that came out with the Maestro, to me, I know there's always going to be people who are going to complain, and I haven't heard a lot of complaints about it, but I could see where people would complain. I personally loved it. Plus, there was the big thing, like, was that an actual run-in with regular old OG Wolverine in the issue? At the very end, that truck did look a lot like the other truck. So, Old Man Logan, issue number 31, The Scarlet Samurai. Oh yeah, part 1. Old Man Logan, the man who was Wolverine, is up against a foe like no other. The Hand. Logan's past comes back to haunt him when a former love drags him into battle with the Hand, who have bolstered their forces like never before. Just when things couldn't get any worse, Logan encounters the mysterious Scarlet Samurai. Will Logan be able to discover who he is, or who she is? This is too bright, I can't read it. And take down the Hand. Yeah, I think he will. The question is, how long is it going to take? 6 issues? We'll see. But seriously, a new character probably is going to have something to do with the Silver Samurai. I'm going to read that. You better believe I'm going to read that. Secret Warriors issue number 9. This is such a surprise hit. And wow. So, versus Mr. Sinister, part 2 is the storyline. When potential Inhumans go missing, the Warriors search for the kidnappers, but an eerily familiar enemy will get in their way. You know what? Anything that has Mr. Sinister in it, I am so down for that. So bring the noise. Guys, Spider-Gwen number 26 is coming out. Star Wars Jedi of the Republic Mace Windu issue number 4. I think there's supposed to be 5 or 6 of them. I think it's just 5. Poe Dameron issue number 21 is coming out. Venom number 158. That's supposed to be the end of the Lethal Protector, so part 4. I believe that this is supposed to finish it off for them. Craven. I haven't been reading this one, but when it comes to trade, I think I am going to pick this up because it does sound good, but I don't want to go back and each issue it. I want to actually get the trade for this. So, and then I will review it that way. U.S. Avengers number 12. I love this. And Cannonball Run issue number 2. You remember he's stuck on that planet Glenbrook? He just left, though. Glenbrook goes to war, and the U.S. Avengers are caught in the middle. But do they side with humanity or the alien invaders? Oh, my. It's a final battle for the soul of America over 1 million light years from Earth. See, that sounds cool, man. It looks like we're actually going to get a little twist in this. Finally, for Marvel, X-Men Blue, issue number 16. Now, I got peeps who are going crazy over it. They're going gaga over this because Venom is supposed to start showing up. Cross Time Capers, Part 1. What do you get when you mix the 5-time displaced heroes? Not the 5-time. The 5-time displaced teens, a time machine, and 1 fractured timeline. You get Jean Grey, Scott Summers, Bobby Drake, Hank McCoy, and Warren Worthington III, impromptu time cops. Okay, the Mojo World issues were not my favorite, and that was a crossover with X-Men Gold. I was so happy that they got through that, and X-Men Gold now, as of last week, has amped it up. Like, literally, I feel like Mark Guggenheim just kind of looked at that and said, yeah, those things happened, but I'm not going to ever talk about them again. Now we're on to something new, and it's really good. So I am going to give X-Men Blue a chance, because it's been stinky lately. But I mean, X-Men Blue was the best comic out there for a while until the Mojo World thing came up. And then, just a couple little things. The Goblin Queen return wasn't really that great. But I'm going to give this a chance. I am. But if it's not good, I am going to actually drop off this comic for a little while, at least until the next storyline comes out. But we'll see about that. As far as my individual comics I plan on reading, Dark Arc issue number 3 of 4 is out. Oh my God, Charles Soule is killing it, and I can't wait to see what's going on there. On top of that, Star Trek Discovery. We also got Star Trek Boldly Go. I think it's issue number 14 is out. I love that series. It's so good. And issue number 13, when it came out, it kind of blew me away because it let me know that they're not playing around. They're going to play with a little mirror universe themselves. But this, Star Trek Discovery, let me read the official solicit real quick. Warp into adventure with the new comic book series that ties the new Star Trek television series show on a bunch of different channels. You won't want to miss this very special Klingon-centric series. Be prepared for action, adventure, and Star Trek at its best. Now check this out. If you've been watching Star Trek Discovery, comic book nerd, episode number 8 just dropped a little while ago last week, and now there's the little break in between, the mid-season break. I hate when they do mid-season breaks. Remember when we never had mid-season breaks? Anyway, it's one of the reasons why I don't watch network television anymore. I'm interneting this or bust. Anyway, so with this here, we actually got to see the destruction of that huge, and I was like barely watching that final episode because just it did get a little bit boring in the middle, but my wife loved it. She loved it. But that gigantic ship, the Deathbringer, the Death Urge, whatever the thing was, it actually got crippled badly because of the new warp technology that the Starship Discovery was using. Here, it's looking like they're going to be continuing with that story, which means that when we return, we're probably not going to have a whole lot to do with the Klingons. It might actually jump over to the Romulans. That seems to be the way they're going. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. It is what it is. Maybe they'll jump right back into the Klingons. Who knows? Maybe they'll hopefully actually get into the politics of the show. I would actually really like to see that. But here in this comic book, we're actually going to get several issues where we're going to be dealing with. And does it say it's nope, just says issue number 1. It doesn't say how many of these issues are coming out. So it doesn't look like it's a one-shot. It's going to be 32 pages, though. So it's going to be an issue and a half, so to speak. But this actually does look pretty good. So, and this would be a good way to see the behind the scenes of what's going on with these new version of the Klingons and how the Kalis is going. So we're going to see how this individual house is actually gaining so much power because they have this cloaking technology. All this stuff is looking pretty good, guys. And right now, these are the comics that I'm guaranteed to be reviewing this week. If you guys have any other suggestions of things that I should be doing, I think they got a Sword Quest and a bunch of other ones. If there's something else that you'd like to see me jump on, suggestions below. No promises, but suggestions below. All right, guys. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.